It is me, Wanda B, and you're listening to the sounds of Frankie Parker. Peace, love, and wine. Love her music. Check it out. Get it on iTunes. You can also go out and see her at the Red Star Cocktail Lounge in Richmond Park once a month. Frankie Parker. Okay, guys, this is the He Said, She Said show here on IntellectualRadio.com, and we have some hot topics today to bring to you. But first, gotta say something. Shout out to my sponsors, my Morte Cosmetics. Please check them out. MAURTE Cosmetics.com. I don't have on Runway Red today, and I don't know the name of what I have on today. But please check them out and get all your cosmetic needs from Morte Cosmetics. Also, we'd love to have you out at Room 183 this Wednesday, December 6th. We are going to be doing He Said, She Said, the he's versus the she's. The ladies have lost every single time. So this is what I'm asking you who follow sports. Please come out. I need a lady. I need to pad the audience with the lady who knows something about sports. And you better know all of them too, please. Or if you know soccer or football, basketball.
I know some women who know something about sports.
Yeah, but the he and you bring the female that's the she. Am I going to trust that she's going to?
I'm not inviting them.
I'm not going to invite them. So I'm inviting you. Come out. Please. And that's Room 183. It's located at 4167 West 183rd Street in Country Club Hills. It's going to start at 8 and at midnight. Please come out, have some fun. We're going to have games, Jenga. We try spades, but everybody can't play spades. But if you can play spades,
I can't play spades.
I can't play it either. My mom didn't allow cards in our home. I
play a little bit, but not like.
And I went away to college, and then I couldn't play, so nobody wanted to play with me.
I play Uno.
We play big Uno. We will beat you at some Uno. So come out, 4167 183rd Street. And then I'd also like you to check out the clothes here today that I have on are provided by Giovanna Jolie, 11614 South Marshfield in the beautiful city of Chicago, 11614 South Marshfield. I love their clothes. Have them on now. Check them out. Okay, and then we have a liquor store, MJ Liquors, 9914 West Roosevelt Road in Westchester, black owned and operated. Okay, how often do you see that? A black owned liquor store, 9914 West Roosevelt Road. Okay, guys, so on IntellectualRadio.com, I have my beautiful host, co-host. Oh, beautiful. I got some guys, handsome. I don't think they like being called beautiful. Okay. Steezo from Steezo Radio. Now, you guys, when you follow on Facebook, for all my Facebook friends, and please share the broadcast, you guys always see Steezo chiming in saying all the petty stuff. Steezo is petty. Look at his shirt. Hashtag Steezo petty. Welcome, Steezo. Hey.
How y'all doing?
Hey. Dot.
Hey, y'all.
And then Okara.
What's up?
Okay, so we have some hot topics brought to you by He Said, She Said, our group on Facebook. Oh, goosh, I got to do some housekeeping that I'm going to do this as we move along. So many things happen in the news that we like to talk about and then happen in our group, He Said, She Said. So I would love for you guys to join the group and topics with us that we talk about on a weekly basis. So we have fun. We do what we're about to do now. We do in the group. Have you guys. So as we go, and again, I'm going to ask you to share the broadcast and join in the conversation. You can also call in at 708-223-8953 if you'd like to be a part of the conversation and have something to say. We'd love to hear from you. If not, get on my Facebook page and tell me what you think on what we're going to talk about. So this first one comes up to you. Our sister groups 30 and up doing us. The group question for 30 and up doing us that they submitted to us was bank accounts. If you're in a relationship and the person has a secret banking account that you know nothing of, is that okay? Is it okay to have that secret banking account and you know nothing about it? And it, I don't know if they what they use it for. But would that be okay with you?
Okay with me.
No.
It sounds like a getaway plan.
She can't have a getaway plan?
No, why are you trying to get away? You might as well just leave.
Really?
Yeah.
Who saw, what was that movie? Help me with
Jump in the broom.
Jump in the broom. Did they have a getaway plan?
Well, she didn't have a getaway plan, but she had a backup. She had some backup accounts, and when he messed up the money, she had the money waiting for them to still be able to live on and survive on.
I'm thinking of the movie. No, is it Waiting to Exhale? A backup plan, money.
No.
Yeah, that was
It was Waiting to Exhale.
Angela Bassett.
She didn't have
Angela
no money. She was broke.
I thought
She was broke because remember she had to win the money
I've never
and
seen
the
Jump in the
settlement.
Broom.
She didn't have a.
Y'all help
she
us
didn't
out
have
on
no money.
Facebook land. If you are
She was
what?
mad because she didn't have the money. Because remember, because at the end she won the
stole
court.
all the money from her.
Yeah, he
and hid
stole
it.
all the money.
There's somebody in some movie, but it's not, and I don't think it's Jump in the Broom because I've never seen it. I am the worst person with seeing movies, so my movie knowledge is very limited. But this is one I actually saw where the woman had a backup plan. And I can't seem to remember what it is. Help me out, Facebook people.
But what would be the purpose of having a backup account that your spouse don't know about?
If you thought that your spouse was irresponsible with money.
You mean a good reason? You're saying because you know they're not good with money, so that'd be a good reason to have one.
Yeah, that'd be a good reason.
Yeah, I agree with that, but the other reason.
But doing it behind their back, why not help them be better with money, not start hiding money for them?
Well, you want to, but grown people gonna do what they really want to do. They don't comply. You just have a little something, just in case. Obviously, as you can tell, I don't have a problem.
So you have a
with it.
secret bank account?
No, I'm just saying. But if I was married, and I probably would have some money somewhere that she probably didn't know about.
Toussaint said, hey, Toussaint Warner, he's been a guest here on the show and also one of our regular contributors, so appreciate you. He said, if you are a man, you better have one, security, even if it's for the both of you. So
I think when we hear about someone having another account, it's that they're plotting to leave or plotting on the failure of their partner. But like you said, it could be that it's going to bail the both of you out in a bind, or something emergency-wise could come up that little secret money could help. But
so why does it have to be a secret?
I'll tell you why. Just first of all, like spending is something they're going to want to go to it.
Yeah, that's true.
The second thing is that if you have it as a secret, that means it's away from you too. So, you might have like maybe, like let's say if you have a little bit taken out of your check to go into that account, see it as well. And it's just there just for emergency. The issue is that everybody thinks that everything is done with some type of malice in mind. Opposed to malice. You can't do anything for a good reason. It must be some sort of malice.
How many secrets are good reasons? Secret. The word secret makes it not sound good.
I'm gonna need a time limit on this. You can't be saving money for 10, 15 years.
For your secret.
Okay,
because you didn't say anything doesn't necessarily mean it's a secret.
Oh, you one of those omission is not secret.
No,
I didn't mention.
Listen, if I just decide, if I set up my account, money to go to the bills, money to entertain myself, and money for whatever reason, enough money to put some aside, it's not about it being a secret. It's just an emergency fund. Maybe I don't tell my spouse about it, because if you have a spouse like that, they will pressure you to try to spend it. And sometimes you don't want to have that conversation. I better left unsaid.
Girlfriend had his ex-girlfriend now passed away. The relationship failed. She was able to carry on with life as per usual, and he's pissed to this day because he didn't have a secret stash, so he's starting from square one, and he feels that his money was going towards their, and so now he got the short end of the rope because, but to me, it was just poor planning on his part.
Or they were just dating?
They shared 2 children, so close enough to being married.
See, I'm a little bit funny about that. I don't want to do too much. I'm getting married or we married. I'm not playing house too deep to where now if something happens and you do leave me, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why I look at it differently as far as having a secret account. The hell you got a secret account for? And again, it has to be a time limit. I'm sorry. I'm waiting for the past 15 years for a rainy day. So how come you ain't told me about this account?
Right.
But here's the thing. It's if like you're living your life and you're not able to do certain things because you don't have any money, and then you find out somebody had a secret stash, you're like, yo, we were supposed to go on vacation, we couldn't go on vacation or whatever. That's one thing. But if everything is good and somebody just decides to put some money away, you just never know. Like, what if like 5 years, 10 years, as they want to start a business, or somebody decides they want to retire early or something like that, and then he's like, hey, look, we got this money. I mean, it's a whole lot of good that can be done with having some extra money.
But would it upset you though? Let's say you got this going, like you say, you putting money up, and for whatever reason, just a simple example, you have car trouble. She never tells you she got this money saved up, so now you hitching rides, you catching the bus. She's never told you she got 15 racks in the bank. Could have easily got that engine fixed, but you doing doubles, working extra hours so you can get your
like
car
at what
fixed.
point do you?
And she has in her head what she set the money for, so she's not gonna let you use it for your car and get it fixed, because in my head this is for our trip here. I mean, why keep that secret? To me, that's wrong.
I'll say this. I found out that I had car trouble, whatever. She had 15 racks or whatever. I didn't want to spend the money. If I can get through the week or the 2 weeks it would take to get my car fixed, no, I wouldn't want to. Listen, if something is for an emergency, it's for an emergency. Cars are not necessarily emergencies. Cars, you can still get to work.
What if our emergency fund is her trip to Jamaica, or his trip with his boys? What if the emergency isn't include you?
Well,
and she gets to decide.
Then go on her trip. I shouldn't ruin her trip because I had car. Look, you should have planned better. You should always have a little something just in case your car go down.
He could have if he had more money to save. Since she's saving all her money, he covering the house.
Or
I could now. I'll say this, because what he sound like is to a couple, right? He's like taking care of everything at the house, right? Taking care of everything. She's not spending her money. She's just sitting in the side and she's not telling him about it. I get that.
But it's still secret. Don't make it good when it's the guy doing it, but when she does it for whatever.
My dad had a secret. And has a secret stash. We're convinced of it. And so the problem was he had my mom living to this very strict minimum budget for a big purchase. And she's like, well, we may have to take out a loan, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, no, I got the money. And she's like, this house on this like minimum budget. Right. And you have surplus. Like, I think it's I think it's a problem when you have the person living on the budget and they kind of blinded by what's going on.
Sound like good money management to me. Shoot, can I talk to him?
Look, Mike could tell you how to do it. I'm telling you, we swear.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's our problem. We always just want to spend money.
About spending money, but if you got the household on this budget.
And then we don't have no money when our car go down.
You know what
But I bet Mike do.
I bet he does.
Thank you guys who are watching on Facebook. I appreciate you guys who chime in, tune in. That's why we can make the purchase name here, because we have the money. So I had a plan B stash when I got married, and it was because of it wasn't Jumping the Broom, but it was for one of those movies, and it was also based on my parents' divorce. my father had money that my mother didn't know about. And she was kind of left in a very big lurch with my parents' divorce because it didn't know that he had stashed all this money in drained bank accounts. They had a kind of War of the Worlds type divorce. And so I had vowed to myself that I was never going to wind up like my mother and had started this, that I would, if ever something happened, it was going to be a plan B. But part of me now sometimes thinks that wasn't the reasons why. So maybe it's the reasons why you have the secret stash can be healthy or not healthy, and not necessarily that it's secret. If it's secret and it's going to help your family, is it's secret going to help your divorce? If ever you leave him, then if people say thoughts are things, or you put that energy out there, if you have a plan B in case we divorce fund, are you that something could happen and you're living to that demise at some point?
I gotta ask, how soon are you starting this in case we divorce fund though?
I started day one.
Damn, see?
Years ago.
But day one?
Now, did you ever at the point like let the account go, or did you keep it the entire 20 years?
If things happened in the household and we needed the money, I used the money for that.
Send it to your spouse like, oh, so-and-so
I work.
gave me. Okay.
I mean, I worked every day, so the money could come from, and I always worked on commission. So the money's an amount of money I could have. It never even built up. I'm a shopper. my habits, it never built up to being able to leave off of it anyway. And I give it for my kids. I always dipped into. I'm leaving out. I mean, I really didn't purpose over the 20 years, but I'm more thinking the reasons why I started it in the beginning. But I would use it on the house if we needed a light bill paid or whatever. I'm going to use that money for the house. So, but I did have one, but I often think was that bad but it really was not healing, or not healing from my parents' divorce. It had made it bigger than what it actually was. I think not wanting to end up like my mother and was behind the money.
So basically, really, it's not the money, it's the intent behind it.
I said that too. Plan B is bad because Plan B is based on intent.
Right. So
yes.
it's really the intent behind it. If it is to the benefit of the household and of the family or whatever, and there is some sort of plan for it, as far as bettering the household, then it's not a problem. But I mean, if you marry somebody and they're doing it because they're not sure because they got one foot out the door, then that's when it's a problem. But it just depends on the person. But I don't see anything wrong with extra money.
I want to hear from some of the guys too, including you, because I'm sitting here thinking, how would I feel? We just said I do. Wife starts a Plan B account, just in case we get divorced. I don't know how I feel about that. That just seems like you already think it's not going to work. You know what I mean?
But it's kind of no different than a prenup.
I mean, yeah, but a prenup we both know about. Yeah, we agreed to that,
Right. So both of y'all going into it.
No, I'm saying I didn't know about this Plan B. Let's say a month into the marriage, a statement came home. I just opened it up. This account a week or two after we said I do. Basically, while we on the honeymoon, she on her smartphone. Chase. It
was all my money, though. It wasn't money from the household.
No,
it was all money I earned.
I'm just wondering how fellas will feel about that,
Know that it was
it would be a secret. You wouldn't know. He didn't know that was in the back of my head.
No, I'm saying I get the statement and I find out and I ask her and she say, well, yeah, their mothers told them always have money. So it's like I really wonder how would the guy.
I wouldn't tell him that though.
Asking and she say, well, I was brought up, I was reared, and my mama told me to have an account just in case you leave me. Like, how would you feel?
I don't feel that way now. Let me start that This was a 27-year-old. No, I'm responding to Toussaint Warner said, Wanda, you don't even stick to your guns with your secret stash. Why would you? I was 20-something. I'm different now. My thought process of having a secret stash would be different. But at that point in time, it was based on my experiences. It was based on watching my mother when my dad left. And I didn't know I needed to heal from that at the time. In my head, I wasn't going to wind up like her. And I was, my parents were married 20-something years. Put all her money into the household while my father kept the secret stash and went on being good and had a house built.
Him and Mike friends.
And see, that's what the issue is. It's like on one end is spending all of their money. Person that's like saving money. That's kind of messed up. And especially if it's a something that ends up being used for the benefit of the one person.
Right.
That's messed up. But you know what? Of course, you're entitled to that money.
You did help.
My dad took the money. I know he may be watching. I'm sorry, but it happened, right? He put the money in other people's names. We never saw that money.
You said he put it in. Oh, your father was straight secret squirrel up in here.
Right. That's my bad. But, I think it's an older school way of thought too.
My mother always taught me that though.
They were
to keep money on the side too.
My mother always told me to always have money.
On the side that your significant other wouldn't know about, or just always have money on the side?
My mother always told me to have money. If I had to do it, that's how I had to do it.
So it's the intent. Back to the intent. It's just to always have money in the back, not to get to your money.
Yeah. Make sure you have some money.
And relationships is just one of those touchier topics, especially like you said earlier, if you have the spender and you have the saver who to lead the finances of the household. So
helpful.
Yeah.
So we are taught to, have a backup plan, but it's like have a backup divorce plan.
Right. Especially like if I'm the spender and you're the saver, hey, you handle the finances of the household, but you the one got a secret stash on top of that.
Yeah.
Like,
that'd be rough.
That's bogus.
That'd be rough.
But you kind of have to hide it from the spender.
I mean,
you do.
Why not give them an allowance or something? Like, this is how much you have to spend.
Because even if you has an allowance, and if you spend more than your paycheck, you probably gonna want to spend more than the allowance I give you.
Were the primary household, and then things go wrong, and you got the secret stash, and I struggled with finances. Like,
you shouldn't have been a spender then.
But what if the struggle was that person made less than the other person? That I made less than you.
So
my mother working in a factory, and you at UPS. I mean, that you making a whole lot more than me.
Okay, so you the spender and you don't make any money.
Now, see, my mother wasn't a spender, so I'm
not.
No, I mean, I'm just. But that scenario.
But I'm just saying, if you the spender and you don't make any money, why are you mad because of the consequences of your personality and your habits? That's you. It doesn't matter whether I had a secret stash or not. If we divorced, you still wouldn't have anything because you spent everything. So y'all, I mean, it's like
what if they spend it on the household? Let's stop making it like they frivolous with the money. Let's say if all my money went into the household and you're saving money, but I bought the I'm handling my financial responsibility. I'm handling my
Right. So then when you are divorced, if somebody has a certain amount of money, you are entitled to that money.
Yeah, Pops come in, he got it in Grandma Lucy's name, Auntie Cheryl name, and
goes back. Then that goes back to the intent, which is wrong. Out of that, you would be broke anyway. In the same position, whether I got money or not. Broke people or somebody with some money, and a broke person. It's always better to have at least one person with some money.
Saving is stupid. Wait, Tucson says saving is stupid, period. The purpose should be investing. Oh, okay, building together. So my intent is moving us forward and not spending frivolously. Okay, that makes sense. And I would want somebody, if I were a spender, I want to be with somebody like that because they would balance my horrible personality of spending. And then I would say, here, take the money and go invest. So hopefully people too, things work and the secret stashes do. I guess what works for different people.
But now you bump heads on that too. You know, Tucson makes a good point, but that's kind of like me and my girl now. You know, so check and I say, hey, you know, such and such stock, I may want to put some money in there one day. So okay, I go ahead and put my money in there. And she say, for example, in the restaurant I know it's like $150 a plate. Just giving an example. So I know it's gonna be a $300 bill.
$300 date.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I don't have it. You know, I put it. You know,
I invested.
I invested my bonus check. You know, she said, oh, well, I guess we're not going. You got your money. Why don't you go ahead and just take it? It's like, I had plans for that money. Even if you do invest the money, if the person you're with doesn't understand investments, they still look at it as, you know, a way to lose money.
Almost like you did something frivolous with the money.
Yeah, so they don't want to wait months or 7 years to see 300 turn into 400. You know, they just look at it like we could have did something else with that money.
You know, I think the realistic is what I think is realistic enough is that you just have to really do a little bit of both. Have a portion that you save, and you have to have a portion that you invest. It's right. You can't just save all your money. You have to like try to do something for you, and just having money, you know, isn't going to, you know, benefit you as far as like, you know, long-term growth. But I think you do have to have something though that you can get to for emergencies.
I think if you sat down, I think it can be accomplished. Like me and my girl, we accomplished that no problem. Got money going into investments, money saving you know, not everything is smooth because we years of planning it out. So I mean, it can always happen.
What happens though with?
No, we're planning on getting married.
So is your money commingled?
Not so much.
Okay.
To where if I left or she left and if she just got tired of my pettiness, she just left, that I'd be.
She's a strong woman, by the way.
What you trying to say?
Exactly.
I feel like she just took a jab.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, I feel like she took a jab.
Sound like a jab.
I'm a guest in your house, and this is how you treat me.
But what I was getting at is that what happens if the relationship does not pan out? Like, how do you go about? I did help invest in this, or I did help in clearing off this amount of your credit and, you know, a portion of mine. So I want my money back.
No, it's kind of a wash.
Okay.
It's kind of a wash. Because she has her own portfolio, I have mine. You know, we may have some of the same, but she has her own, I have mine. You know,
okay.
So.
She said on IntellectualRadio.com, we are going to take a quick. As I fix my Facebook Live, thank you, IntellectualRadio.com. You can always watch on YouTube as well. Please like our page, Intellectual Radio, IntellectualRadio.com. Check us out, and I'm going to fix what I did because I did a big boo-boo, y'all. I deleted it by mistake, and we're going to keep. I sure did. I'm sorry.
You leave it alone, ma'am.
Yeah, just leave it alone. They'll find the topics when you say.
time. I'ma listen to my mind. I'ma follow my own way. I'ma do just what I say. I can't be nobody. I can only be me. Took a while for me to free my individuality. It dawned on me one clear day that I need to do what makes me happy. This life ain't really worth living if I ain't true to who I'm being. I am no longer afraid. I'm independent today. I am no longer afraid. I'm independent today. I'm taking it one step at a time. I'ma listen to my mind. I'ma follow my own way. I'ma do just what I say. I'm complete and brand new, emerging from my cocoon. Was it really hard to do? I can go anywhere. I don't care if they stay. When I represent and reflect my light, oh, I inspire someone to take flight. Not afraid. No.
Hey, it is me, Wanda B, and you've been listening to the sounds of, it's a new artist. I don't know her name. I'll tell you later. And he said, she said on IntellectualRadio.com. And we were talking about couples and emergency things, and now emergency bank accounts. And now we're going to go into our next topic, which will be using the bathroom in front of your spouse. Now, I didn't think this was a thing. Like being real comfortable sitting in the date. How it was worded was, as she said on, and I'd love for you to join. So please share this broadcast. I know you like, girl, you asking a lot today. I know. Okay, thank you. I appreciate you so much, my Facebook friends who chime in. Please join this broadcast as well as we go into our new hot topic from He Said, She Said. So it seemed as if you could sit in the bathroom while she's on the toilet and you're sitting on the tub and you having this heart-to-heart conversation and you're able to sit through it, that made you kind of closer. That made a closer relationship because you guys were really like in sync with each other because you could do this. Now, for me, that just can't work. I am music shy. I think I go into stage fright. I have urinal stage fright. Able to go with you sitting there and we having this idle chit chat, and especially not number two. I don't even think I want to though. Like, what man wants to? And a lot of men was like, yes, we like this, and the women were like, that means we are really close when he's right there and I'm cool with. Nope. Point. I can't. I want to.
Now, I had an ex that would like want to have a conversation while he was pooping, but in my early 20s, stage fright. There's nothing worse than the next morning I am like hauling ass, but to get home to use the bathroom. I need it's not gonna work for me.
I actually wouldn't even want to really know I do it. I even poop it off. The poopless
women don't poop. We don't poot or poop.
Not pooping in front of them either. Not on purpose.
That ain't true.
We don't.
We don't. Ladies don't do that.
Shots before.
Right. Yeah, we gotta go to sleep.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, boo, 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 boo.
No, that's why you gotta turn the faucet on. You gotta turn on the faucet so that it washes the noise. See, my restroom. So like, I'll turn on the tub.
You'll turn on the full
before
shower
you hear anything. Like, no.
a lot of women work for it. So I think people should do what's best for their relationship. I'm not making a judgment on people who can do it. I'm just saying
weird.
Steve, are you okay with your lady there with you and y'all talking?
If she's peeing, yeah. I can tolerate urination, but I'm not gonna lie. Back in the day, I used to purposely, while my girl was in the shower, lose weight. That's what I call it. We have number 2.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, I lose weight, then flush the toilet and run out.
See, that is absolutely worse.
You do that on purpose.
Yeah, you gotta keep it, fun in a relationship.
That moment you realize somebody's nickname applies.
But you gotta keep it fun.
Patty.
You gotta keep it fun though. She cussing you out from the shower, but she can't get to you because she wet.
Yeah, absolutely, and she's stuck with.
That's why they call him Steve Patty. Look at this shirt. He's truly Patty. Who thinks of that? That you're gonna go use the bathroom and flush the toilet, so the water get cold on her, and you running out and laughing.
And more importantly, I'll take cold water, but I'm stuck with the smell.
Showering, the smell just gonna make
with
you
the
feel
stain.
dirty again.
It's a payback. She probably did something to me earlier that week.
Wait till
she probably didn't.
Yeah,
that is just wrong.
I've actually dated somebody who liked to come in the bathroom when I was, doing number 2. And I used to be like, "What are you doing?"
She liked it.
She would come in. It was usually when she was drunk. Like if she was drunk, she would come in and like she'll knock on the door and be like, "I know what you're doing," and I'm like,
"Okay,
let me do it."
And she would
since you not move,
and she would like come in drunk. She would always want to talk, but she didn't want to talk through the door. And I'd be like, "Look, hold on." She's like, "No." And the thing was that she worked in the hospital, so things like that did not bother her. And she would, she'd be like, I do this all the time or whatever, as far as just, because of patients or whatever. So she would, and I would just be sitting there looking at her like, "Are you serious?" And she'd be really trying to talk.
That is funny.
I'm starting to think that it may be too, because then he can't get up. He got to be engaged in the conversation because you got him trapped. It's not like he can get up.
What? You would have to sit there through it. Like, no, there's nothing odder than seeing a man sit on the toilet.
It's not sexy.
It's not. It's
not
the
a woman
oddest thing ever. So it's like not odd to see a woman sitting on the toilet. And it's sitting like that's no, thank you.
You
always want to envision your man standing up at the urinal.
Yeah,
I remember
that's unmanly.
When I was younger, I remember I used to get. I would take off all my clothes, and
like why? Why are you getting?
I don't know what it was. It was just like I would take off everything.
Relaxed.
Yeah.
You have to be trained as a boy to keep your clothes on, right? Or not to pull your pants all the way down and like how to use it correctly.
I don't know what it was. It was just something I did. It was just something at home.
That's a guy thing.
I wouldn't do it necessarily. But then the weird thing was that I remember somehow conversation came up and I found out there were like other dudes who did the same thing.
Yep. Yeah. I've had an ex or two like.
I mean, I don't.
Why are you naked? I gotta go poop.
But sometimes you have to because it'd be a monster. So you have
but
to.
Why? It does not.
You start sweating.
Yeah,
you get heated. It's like
get your butt right in the shower right afterwards.
Taking deep breaths and stuff.
Right. Yeah. So you just not relaxed.
Let me tell you, I have called butt home in the morning like, my stomach is not right. I gotta go home, and they want to talk like, no, I'll call you later because I cannot. That's the worst.
I can't hold it anymore.
Feel about to have a poop in his house. Like, no, I'm a girl. No,
I'm a girl.
I agree with you, Nina. I agree. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I have to hold it or wait till he leaves out the house and then I'm running to the bathroom.
Y'all don't want your man to know how rocky y'all are.
That's vegetables. Thank you very much. That's healthy eating. Just the opposite. Healthy eating, it doesn't smell as much probably as. Hey, you guys. Hey, Stephanie. GF Entertainment, Tuesdays at 9 o'clock here at IntellectualRadio.com. Thank you to my Intellectual Radio family who tunes in. Sundays, I saw you too. Chewing the Fat, Thursdays at 3 o'clock. Check them out. Check her out, Chewing the Fat. And Dennis, hey Dennis, you guys broadcast because I had you share the last one. I goofed. Okay, I get all creative when I'm sitting here at my computer. So, Lou, what did you say? You said the only time I lock the door, is my personal time. And I've had guys tell me that hey, that's my time alone. Like, don't, because I will talk outside of the door. I have you trapped in the door. Now it's my time to talk, so I will talk outside of the door.
Nope, I don't.
Oh, I don't want to hear that.
Or anything. You can have that time to yourself.
Yeah, see, that doesn't bother me. I talk to you while I'm doing it. Or
outside the door, not in the room.
Yeah, I ain't got to be inside with you.
I have stage fright. I cannot urinate, and I was married.
Now I can urinate. That's not a problem.
Never did it with me at the same time. Not once.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that either. But number two, no.
Number two, I'm not doing.
And if there's some gas coming with the urination, like no.
And you're not sure that it may come, so I'm not going.
That's why I turn on the faucet every time because I don't know what may happen, and I'm a girl. You don't need to know I do these things.
I'm not mad at y'all about that though. I am not. I know a lot of women like that, and to be honest with you, I'm happy about it.
That's funny.
I'll let a guy see me draw my eyebrows on before I let you see me poop. You can come watch this eyebrow.
Well, makeup, but you see me without it, so
but
you
pooping,
know I don't look like this every day. Don't wake up. I woke up like this. I woke up like this. No, I don't. So I think I let him see me without.
That might
makeup.
Be more traumatic than him hearing you.
Have you seen those pictures of the makeup people that look like night and day? Yeah. What do you feel about that? If you met a girl and she looked one way, and when she took off the makeup, she looked like a totally different person.
I feel that way about beards, though. Like I need to see what you look like before a beard because it's attractive. So no.
Beards make people look attractive.
What? I mean, it makes them look like a different person.
Really?
Yes.
I've heard that about beards and hats.
Hats too, though. Yeah. You can get hats. Somebody has a funny word for that where you can really get hat tricked. I don't know what the word is, but it's a trick to hats. People can look really good and be like, oh, they take off the hat, like, oh, whoa. There's something to the hat. So beards could be the same thing. You take the beard off and
but I think makeup is more dramatic.
I don't see how guys get fooled by makeup.
No.
Oh man!
Those pictures. Have you seen that Facebook people that were going around?
You can look at a woman's face and tell if she has caked on a lot of makeup. Guys get fooled by makeup. You can see it. A woman's face and tell if she has on a lot of foundation. She's doing it for a reason. Makeup is like good sex. It has a lot of flaws, and you can tell.
Makeup good sex has a lot of flaws in it.
I said good sex. Good sex I like is the same. It has a lot of flaws. Hides a lot of flaws.
It hides.
Hides a lot of flaws. Okay. I was like, I didn't get that. I get it now. No. Now Stephanie said nope, not always.
Well, I agree with what he's saying.
They're going to be unattractive once they take it off. Do you know that though?
But you can tell when someone has caked it on. The difference between someone that's just using light makeup and then someone who's doing like contouring person.
You can tell. I don't.
I mean, you got to really study them though. I mean, because I'm thinking back when I was.
Well, I guess guys would know.
Yeah, we got fooled a lot. Many times I came home with a white tee, makeup murder scene. I didn't even know it got on me.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I
make a murder scene.
I pay a lot of attention. I be looking at their skin.
Too.
Yep.
Let me see your ear.
You can tell by the
ear. Your ear looks a different color than the face.
If you really the neck,
your neck.
If they hiding and all of that stuff, but you have to really, really look. Most women with like a certain type of skin, presentable skin, I guess you could say, but presentable skin, they only put like, a light form of makeup on, just to kind of, you know, enhance it a little bit. But
enhancing done this morning.
like to my right.
You know, Kara, look at him going for some bodybuilder. He's so sweet and trying to get them points. I don't pay attention. I'm going to, but if you look like a drag queen, I'm going to notice if it looks like you went from male to female makeup. But some of the pictures, if I saw those women, I wouldn't know they'd be as drastically, or I wouldn't know that they look that different. I wouldn't. I don't know how to tell, because I looked at those pictures of them with the makeup and thought, oh, that's beautiful. But they looked beautiful, but then the opposite was like, whoa, what happened?
Who are you?
Who are you? Will men care? Do you guys care?
Yeah, we care.
I do.
Yeah, we care.
That's why I pay attention to it so much.
Yeah. I guess that'd have to happen. You know, you would have to actually get tricked, and then it'll start raising your spidey sense. If you did come home with a girl like that, and you woke up and you really didn't recognize her, you know, yeah, then I'll probably be like you. I'll be looking at ears, elbows, telling her to blink 3 times, something, you know, to see if something start falling. But I'm not really looking at a lady's makeup to see how much she put on or if it's fake.
We do a whole lot and guys be like, oh, we don't care.
Yeah, they're getting real good with
I
it.
think they care.
Like the eyebrows looking real again. You know, you could tell that it was, you know, drawn on, but now, shoot, that at home kid.
YouTube hurting them. They YouTubing it.
I probably in college, and because there was this one particular girl that, like, you know, walking around, she used to, you know, look like really nice. And then one day, I don't know, I happened to be like on her floor or something, and she was walking, you know, like she was walking through the hall, you know, like her little thing on her head, and she didn't have on her makeup, and I was like,
wait, her headscarf?
She had a headscarf, yeah.
The little thing that they all put on y'all head?
She had her headscarf on. You know, I was, you know, kind of shocked or whatever, right?
See,
and the person, and the girl I was with, like, I got into the room, and I was like, yo, you know, and she was like, oh, you know, I was like, oh.
That's okay. How that works.
And so, you know, I started paying attention. That's when I started really paying attention to it.
You have to, like, go through it. Then it'll keep you more keen and looking for it now. But like that, you're not checking. Some of the women look like burn victims on their before pictures.
Tucson said dudes don't care for a night, but on average, we ain't dealing with the club woman anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So guy really cares about the excess of makeup if he has one intention, include long term.
Isn't everybody kind of like a club woman at least once? Everybody's been to a club.
I think you mean picking them up from
taking them home and making them your woman.
From the club.
That you don't care about the excess makeup for that night.
That's true.
You give a pass to the excess of makeup to get what you want.
You just worry about catching something when that's happening.
You can cover that up. Remember, so I was going to talk about, this topic came up. We were on Stezo's show, on Stezo Radio, Nia and I. And one topic that came up that was like, condoms in the drawer.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you met a woman and she had a condom drawer filled with condoms, how do guys feel about that? Is that like, whoa, she gets around? No, she has 1 or 2. You okay with her pulling out her little baggie with 1 condom? But if she pulled the drawer open and had all flavors and all sizes and she was ready, how do you feel about that?
Again, because I noticed at the end, I got what y'all was saying. Okay, yeah, I guess I am being a little too petty.
Well, what did you say though?
Well, I said if I go over a girl house for the first time and she pull this drawer back, she got 101, you know, types of condoms. I'm like, damn, you kind of too experienced. You know what I'm saying? How many times are you getting down? And I'm a little turned off because now I'm scared. I'm gonna start itching. How much sex do you have? I mean, I know you're not a virgin, but you breaking Wilt Chamberlain numbers in this bed? I mean, bed is one thing, but
Opposite. I felt that she's just being a responsible sexual behavior.
Yeah,
I mean,
but how how often is this sexual behavior happening?
I don't think.
I mean, does it
know
matter how many condoms that she has?
No, I'm saying me. That's what my mental go, because I don't really want to know 100 guys. I just need to know you getting down with me tonight. But if I open up this drawer and see that, now I'm wondering, like, damn.
Because the first thing I would think is that she wasn't having a lot of sex because she has so many condoms. Like if she got 101 condoms left, that means she ain't did nothing in a while because she still got 101. I mean, think about it. Condoms come, what, 20 in a pack? So if she had 5 packs, she still got 5 packs. So, I mean, and it's not like she getting down to 50 and then going to buy.
Mimi's doing the math. 20 minus.
Then going to buy, another 50 more. At it like she, either the first thing I really would think is that she probably worked in the healthcare profession. Somehow she gets a lot of, free condoms, especially if they're like those generic condoms, those little real small ones. I can't think of the name of them right now. But if they those like really small ones, that's the first one I think if she had, because
condoms. What is the small size?
Like, what are they, like lifestyles?
Lifestyles.
Yeah,
okay.
They like
you don't get to choose the size or
lubrication.
It's just a condom.
Yeah.
Here's a condom.
Yeah.
So
you
you go to a lady's house and it's the row of condoms or whatever, and you can see that she's clearly used the condom off the row. Do you have a problem with that?
Okay. You're saying it's a 3-pack left.
Right.
No.
Okay.
No.
Facebook, chime in, let me know what you think about that.
Like,
Cizo, you ain't planning on no flags, fam. She been.
But I think guys think like when we lay down with them,
to be virgin,
you're losing your virginity that night.
No, I don't think no virgin.
I don't think guys want to. Am I wrong, or that's what women think? And this is where the he said, she said, and the different perspectives put in. For us women, we feel, or it seems to us, that guys don't like be with a woman that's been around. That she's been around or getting around.
After
a wife, a woman that's been around, but messing with her.
No, wife is the, and most women are on the road to be
not
wife.
so much.
Not most. Some.
Not even get around, but could it be that she's a sexually active woman?
I mean, you can make it sound
but they
pretty,
still don't want to be with a sexually active woman.
But he's gotten around too. So
they don't care. They don't care. That's what is the word? This came up we posted it in the group. He said, she said about things that are okay for men and not okay for women. That's one of the things that a guy getting around with a bunch of women is a high five, air bump, and a woman getting around with a bunch of guys is like, it's one of those things that are just not fair, but seen differently. No, double standards. That's the word I'm looking for.
But yeah, I agree with that. You don't want to have a girl on your arm everywhere you go. She turned into a Me Too. Everybody smash this girl. You know what I'm saying? No matter what club you go to,
your girl is a Me Too.
Are you with so-so?
Yeah.
You know what? My biggest issue is, after a certain amount of time, a girl gonna have some numbers. Having sex since high school or something like that. Went through college, your early 20s or whatever. She gonna have some numbers. The most is how easy it is.
Judge her by that?
No, not necessarily for me, but just in general, like how easy you think it is. Like if came to me and was like, "Yo, old girl, she having sex, right?"
She going.
And then I can go and have sex with her. And then I tell somebody else, "Yo, she having sex." And then he can go and he can have sex with her. And I'm like, ugh. But I mean, if for the most part, I know women who are similar to men. They do the choosing. Go and think you're gonna talk some stuff to them, and they gonna give it up. I kind of look at it how easy it is. I don't really necessarily judge it. Just sometimes people just have what I call maybe a whole moment where
everybody has a whole phase.
Yeah, just like that moment where they do something they probably wouldn't normally do.
But I don't think men want to know that. They don't want to know that women have whole phases. Toussaint said, "We don't want to know your business. We can do whatever. My ignorant." I think there may be some men that are like that they don't want, especially in women, if they want to be wifed.
Right.
In that wifed movement, you can't let your whole phase.
I'll tell you this though, if you have a whole phase, you better back to haunt you.
See,
It's true.
But that's
for men and women.
Yeah, that's for everybody though.
Do men care about their whole phases being?
I mean, their whole phase come in the form of like an 11-year-old child that could be
baby
theirs.
mama.
Yeah, like I smashed her a few times, but we never there may be a whole kid.
More men than you think
Care about what?
Their whole phase is getting out.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah,
I'm learning something new.
I know some who has had moments to come back to haunt them.
Like what? Give me an example of it coming back to haunt you.
Okay, I'll give you a perfect example. So let's
short
say
version.
This is that you meet a girl and guess what? You ended up having sex with her friend. You didn't know they was friends, but you had sex with her friend a year ago. Yeah, dude, you banged an old girl. And so she won't talk to you, but you're really interested in it because you know what? She knows 2 or 3 people you've had sex with.
Yeah.
So what I don't. So other women, once she found out you had been with a few of her friends, she doesn't
or
find
some women
you.
that she knows. So she's like, no, I'm not going.
So how do you suggest for a man not to have it come back to him then?
You can't control that.
Sounds like, I guess that's how I feel. Like it was example, you can't really control that not to have your whole face come back.
Well, I can see how like it's coming back to haunt you is that you're finally ready to settle down with a woman and somebody comes out the woodworks that could jeopardize that entire relationship. Because you slept with her friend and her friend and her friend and that's all coming out and now you have to tell her the truth. And we know we can be petty like he slept with my friend when they was like 17 and I
is that petty? I don't want to be with nobody my friends. No. But if it was like 2 years ago and you tell me you slept with them,
not current. Yeah.
Maybe
everybody's petty.
According to Steezo.
Petty. Everybody is petty. I'm not. I'm petty sometimes. So Toussaint said, them men are feminine men. What are you saying? What are we talking about? I don't get, we start from here. Wherever here is, accepted or not. I actually feel the same about women. So no looking back at your history and judging you based on your history. Our relationship starts from this moment and whoever you've been with is not my concern. That should be how it is, right?
No, it's not like that though.
No?
It's not. Listen, if I meet a young lady, me and her, we get along just fine. And then I go somewhere and my boys are there and they like, yo, just last year I was hitting that. I'm sorry. It's not working. Your past is relevant. Yeah. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, especially like if your past was you cheated on every single person that you ever dated, guess what? It's very likely you're gonna cheat on me.
People say that and talk about that.
People act like past is not relevant when every day people repeat the past, they repeat their habits. Life is a habit, and most people have habits. And so, we like to say, oh no, it starts here. No, it don't. Because a lot of things you did in the past haunt you now. Behavior, what you do in the present, and what you're gonna do in the future. And we just like to say it's irrelevant. No, it's not irrelevant. It is very relevant. It predicts future behavior. It has been proven.
How many years pass? I totally agree with you. So somebody, when they start telling me all the things they've done to some other woman, how I've never been faithful and I start thinking, why? Exactly what you're saying. Yeah. Why would I be any different? Why would I not listen to your own behavior, what you say you do, and then not go,
And people are going to try to say, well, people can change. Yeah, people can change, but the truth is people don't change often.
years matter if they go, well, that happened 20 years ago.
If what happened 20 years ago?
Whatever the change is, if their hold'em was 20 years ago, does that make a difference?
If it was 20 years ago and then you have 20 years of a different behavior, yeah, that's relevant. I think give you that credit. But if it was just like, your last relationship,
you cheated on them too,
and all of a sudden now I'm so
you
special.
woke up today, yeah. I think your consistency in your behavior.
I'm gonna need you to do a relationship right before me and not cheat.
And then call me.
I think people do that all the time. They talk about their last and not expect you to think that it's going to be different. You tell me what you've done to change. If you tell me I've gone through therapy and I've gone through this and I'm a different person, but if you're not telling me all the things you've done to make this situation be different,
agreed,
then I'm not going to see it being different. But if you told me, okay, I've learned the lesson from the past, that would change things for me. If you told me 2 years ago I was this person and I don't want to be that person. But if you're just telling me like, hey, and then I did this and then I did that and now I've never been faithful to one person I've ever been with, but so how you doing? Then why would I think anything different?
So I have a question then. Is it okay to talk about your just when you're embarking on a new relationship with someone?
I'll tell you this. I will answer about a past relationship, and not only that, but I will ask questions about a past relationship. I'll ask I don't need to get all specifics, but I do like to see if people have patterns. So yeah, I will ask, and I will have the conversation. It's not anything that I'm going to talk about all the time, but I do think that, certain things should be addressed.
How soon? Take conversation?
No, I wouldn't do it first date. I do it after. Because like first dates, I go on first dates just to kind of enjoy myself and to see if me and this person has like a certain. I don't need to find out anything about them. But after I've determined whether or not I want to pursue other conversations as far as but I talk on the phone. So, phone conversations or whatever is when I find that out. I wouldn't have the conversation on the date.
Tucson said, people change every day, bro. You're projecting insecurities onto other parties. As a young boy, I did young boy stuff. As a man, I'm different. Well, we all agree people can. Your response out loud. You typing it in, saying it at the same time.
No, but yeah, there's a difference between being a boy and something you did as a man. If I am a grown man, and last year I cheated on my girlfriend, and the year before that I cheated on a different girlfriend, and that's things I did as a man. As a boy, purities, you call it whatever you want to. I know what I call it. It's proven history. It's proven over time that people don't change. You ain't changed from what you did last year. So, people can say that insecurity this, insecurity that, but it's proven every day. Habits. People live their life with habits. We all have them. And, just to try to ignore it and just try to excuse it and say it's like your insecurity coming out is have that.
I think it would be in conversation to hear whether that person is really different. If you pay attention to what they've done to be different, but if you don't hear any, it's not just so I cheated on. But if I hear that, I think what I just said, the lesson learned from it, and you hear that come out in conversation. But some people you don't hear that. You hear. There's no growth from that experience.
Exactly.
The few times I've had conversations about relationship with someone dating, I'm listening for how towards that, if they still bitter and scorn and hurt, or if they've grown and are good about it and can move on. But if you go back, is about your ex, bruh,
right?
Go ahead. What's her number? So I can reach out to her on your behalf. you need to be back with her.
I do think that I want to hear about it, but in normal conversation. But if every conversation is how, and if it's from a negative place too, when it's and she did this, and then she was always this, and then you bitter, like you say, a lot of bitter conversation about how and then she did this. Oh well, that's red flag, purple flag, green flag. Too many flags.
And they never did anything wrong.
Never did. Yeah, right. The other person, exactly.
It's only like one villain in the story. They never the villain.
Heimlich on you. Are you okay?
I'm just trying to make sure I don't cough this lung up.
Oh, we can't replace lungs at IntellectualRadio.com. We do a lot here. We have a lot of shows on all different topics. What we don't do
lung replacement is not one.
Right.
There's not even a lung replacement, is there? I think if you need that lung.
You do need it.
I think you may need that. Take a moment. So what made you decide to stop and quit? Oh, that was you, Mimi, that said that.
Yeah, so.
That was the Tucson.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been talking here, he said, she said, on IntellectualRadio.com. We've been going over some hot topics that have come up in our group. She said that I'd love for you to join that group and add some topics. So one topic came up, and Nima, I'm going to ask you to pull this up. Cheating has now, I guess this has been done before, so this is nothing new. There's an NFL player.
It happened to Fantasia. That was the other person.
Someone mentioned Fantasia. So Nima,
and it's in the same
story.
State. So apparently a spouse is suing an NFL player for seducing his wife and causing their marriage to fail. And I believe
who's the NFL player? What's his name?
He played. What's his name? John Cox. Is that his name?
He plays Cox.
Yeah, he plays for the Eagles.
I think it's the Eagles. Yes.
Yes. Got it.
So tell us the story real quick. She is husband or the.
So here's the thing, people. He found out his wife was having these conversations with this NFL player on Snapchat. So apparently those messages do not disappear right away as you think, because he was able to hack in Snapchat and Instagram or something like that. So he was able to hack into our DM. We're having email exchanges. He was telling her how compatible they were, and he knew that compatibility would translate into the bedroom, and that he should let him impregnate her. And the husband found out and sued the NFL player. But that is in North Carolina, same place, same thing that happened to Fantasia. Fantasia's
wasn't he with alienation of affection or something like that?
Against like marriages, and so
I gotta admit, that is creative.
That's a way to get back at everybody.
Better than palimony.
You mean suing? You know what?
Sued for alienation of affection by the husband because he said in the filing that he learned in September of text and Snapchat messages between his wife and Cox, is a player for the Philadelphia Eagles, and he is suing for damages of $50,000 in damages. Substantial emotional distress.
Did Fletcher Cox knew he was married?
He found messages where she would say he's coming in the room, or he knew she was married.
Gotcha.
And it mentioned, we make pretty babies together. At some point in time, she had alerted him that he was.
Now, for those who've been married, is marriage considered a legal contract?
Yes.
Okay, so I can see how that can work then in this lawsuit.
No, it works, because I've heard of a couple of people being sued for the same reason. I'm sure he's not the first. If I ever get married to my wife, cheat.
Especially if the person had money. I was
Even if they don't,
I'm suing.
Even
I'm
if
suing
they don't.
if you don't.
Fantasia, the woman sued. I sued Fantasia.
Let me tell you,
cheat with
they-
my
I
man,
was-
I want
I'm sorry.
Fantasia money.
Don't.
They initially, I don't know what the end result was, but that was $1 million lawsuit. Yes.
Wait.
Because it caused her embarrassment because they were public with their relationship, and he ended up leaving Fantasia and going back to his wife.
Oh, and she won the lawsuit.
I
And they
believe she
still living
won
off
some of the
Fantasia money?
lawsuit. Yeah.
Yes, that's a good one. Now you cheated right. Cheat with somebody with some money that I can sue.
Reconcile later.
Y'all only filing if they got money. Regardless
If he's just a 9 to 5, like no, I'm filing.
I'm taking money from your check. I don't care if it's $1,600 a week, $1,000 a week.
It's $1.60 a week.
No, men, do not start doing this. Just let her go. Let her go.
Hey, that's that fund we was talking about, that divorce fund.
$1 million home wrecker. They call
That you would-
Fantasia.
Yeah.
Nah, fellas, don't start doing this.
She
fellas.
tried
Just
to
let
settle
her
for
go.
100,000 or the separated wife was not going at the time, so way through.
Funny.
I don't know what the end result was though.
If fellas, let her go.
Let it
Better not be in
go.
court
Let it go.
trying to get some emotional distress.
It is emotional distress.
Get
man.
you a good
Everybody-
lawyer, ladies.
Everybody is entitled to emotional
You
distress.
cheated on me. I'm
Looking like Tyrese
suing
crying.
you
No.
and
No.
Yep.
Don't cheat in North Carolina, Charlotte. don't cheat there. It's not easy for y'all over in North Carolina. Not with money. Y'all better come to Chicago. I don't think we had it in Illinois.
What do you mean?
So this alienation
Yeah, no.
of affection that you can be sued for that.
I think it's most of those Bible
I think
Belt
it's like
states.
it's the Bible Belt states because Tennessee.
It's the thing. You go and get married in those states, ladies. Back to the Midwest.
Yes, that makes sense.
Your contract, Bible Belt state, where
But again, y'all keep calling me petty. see how it's coming out?
you see how this works.
That's wrong. No. It's a creative lawsuit, but no. Get together and start doing it.
Another North Carolina woman, 60-year-old Cynthia Shackelford, was awarded $9 million after she sued her husband's mistress for breaking up their 33-year marriage.
Mistresses are ruthless. I swear there is a hotline somewhere in this world, like when a man dies, his mistress is like 20 years removed. They all find out. They all show up, and some of them cut up, some of them play it easy, but
Are they entitled to money, mistresses, if the man dies? And does the mistress have any entitlement to anything?
Why would they be?
I don't think they do it. I'm just asking. That Nemia's in the funeral business.
I want to say there was a case where the mistress had a child, like the wife knew about it, legit mistress, and the child like up to where they could. I mean, in the funeral industry, you'll be surprised how many double services we work out with the wife and the mistress.
The mistress gets her own service.
She's in a whole relationship. I
can give her one too.
Yeah. I mean,
wait.
Sometimes the wife permits it. The wife permits
you to have your own funeral over here somewhere.
This heifer can come in on. I'm coming on Thursday.
So just like there was February 13th, Valentine's Day for the side chick mistress, they also have
side chick Memorial Day too.
Memorial for funeral.
I mean, you think about it. Sometimes the entire family knows about this person.
They got side chick memorial.
Side chick funeral. They had their own. They wheeled a body in another room for her, and then they wheeled a body in another room for her.
A long time ago, and it's called "Your Wife Is the Other Woman."
Yep.
You know the book too.
And you know what? I see the point now. I see what she was talking about.
If she's having her own funeral and making her own funeral arrangements, no, I'm not.
Can you sue for breaking up the marriage because she's the one that wants to leave?
Well, you can. I mean, I guess what he's saying that she probably would have never wanted to leave if you hadn't
It's
brushed up
Entice
on
her
her.
with your NFL body
Yeah.
and
So-
NFL money.
But you know what? This back to the whole thing of it's your wife.
She was going anyway.
You know, that's the problem. Everybody always, but I mean, I get why he did it. He probably did it because he could get some money.
It's for the money.
And at the end of it, you know, but I mean, dude, that's
She
The
did.
wife met him on a work trip in Pennsylvania. And then, and so, why are you laughing at that, Steve? Why is that funny?
Yeah, I know a bunch of men like, see, like you're supposed
No,
to stay
the
home
work trips.
in the kitchen, barefoot. You shouldn't even have a job. Why do you put in work? I know a lot of guys. See, this wouldn't happen if she didn't have employment.
You can't bring. Tucson said his uncles used to bring their girlfriend and their wives to holiday dinners. They both there together.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot.
Jeez.
Yeah. I'll never forget.
I mean-
At my lodge, this guy came and I'm like, no, I met his wife many a times, and he's like, yeah, come on, we meet somebody, women. And he's like, yeah, that's my wife, my girlfriend, my mistress. And all three knew of each other.
What is the definition of a girlfriend / mistress? How are those different?
Mistress gets taken care of financially.
And the
girls
girl,
may get, a little
dates.
attention, but the
Sex.
mistress, and sex, but the mistress is getting something like the house paid for something financial.
Quality time and all of that
Yeah.
other stuff too.
this is crazy. You guys even listening? He said, she said on IntellectualRadio.com. We've been talking about. Goodness gracious, what have we been talking about? We've been all over the board today. We're having a fun free-for-all today. Stezo suggested it. And since he was on, since we are welcoming our guest host, we are doing it freestyle and talking about Fletcher Cox lawsuits and the reports that the woman he cheated with suing him for alienation of affection. Do you think he should win $50,000 for that?
Change it, but seeing how the NFL's been, I wonder, can the NFL suspend him when there's something detrimental to the league? Because you always hear in the NFL, don't disrespect the shield, don't disrespect our league with things you do outside of sports. I wonder, can they for this?
All of them cheating, even the coaches.
No.
This would go too deep if it was
Nah,
just
they
cheating,
couldn't. They
don't you
wouldn't
think?
do that. They wouldn't open up that can of worms because
They'd have no NFL.
executives, players, everybody be going down there.
They'd have nobody be on the field.
They had to suspend it. It'd be like 11 people.
We can't play.
No, I'm saying
They'll be playing 7 on
Even
7.
the gay ones would be sued.
No,
I mean,
I'm
it would
saying-
just be
I'm
a
saying
mess.
he's, but he sued in the courts at Adrian Peterson for spanking his child. I'm pretty sure other kids got spanked by NFL players, but they didn't get sued in the
but
courts.
it was-
for it.
That makes
But
sense to ask.
This is different in the sense of this is not what do you call it? Gosh, a legal trial as far as like to go to jail or anything like that.
A
This is
civil suit.
Okay,
Civil
I see
suit.
what you're saying.
Mhm.
So because it's a civil suit, I think that's what he had got arrested. I think that's a different thing. Civil suit. I don't think they would even touch that.
I'm confused again then, because if it's a law in North Carolina and technically he broke the law, can he be arrested?
You can you dial 911 and say, "Come arrest my husband. He's
Tucson
in there
said yes,
cheating."
they are contract workers. They can hire and fire whenever. Colin Kaepernick never broke any rule. Do things over, and that was just bending the knee.
Well,
So why wouldn't you cheating?
So with
Oh, NFL, you
So
can
what-
beat your wife, you can do whatever, and
They get to
still
pick and choose
pick
what
up.
go there.
Mhm.
it's a difference between them deciding not to hire or fire him and them like disciplining him. So discipline, if they discipline him, that means like suspension or something of that nature.
But not fired.
I don't think he could he could be fired, but I don't think he could be disciplined.
Discipline is in the military. Military for sure upholds marriage. Cheating, you can lose your benefits and face penalties and punishment
Really?
in military.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you could,
My friends, was married to a military guy, and when it came out that he was cheating, his wife, who was not in the military, and said, "Hey." And it was really her response to that answer affected his entire military career from that point forward. In a crazy way, but I mean, yeah.
Military children. Marriage. I'm not going to affect his money.
Well, I mean, she held him down, but
I've heard that too. I've talked to people in the military. That too. You get cheat.
Yep.
Interesting.
Military is pretty Bible Belt.
Hey guys, so a wife is a size 6 when they get married, and then
life happens.
She
eats life. Okay.
She eats burgers, pizza, and has children. Maybe reasons are size 22.
Don't leave out the best part. And she tells the man to love me as I am.
I'm going to.
That's the part that got me.
I'm going. Let me read it correctly so I don't mess this up. I'm going to.
Diesel said, "Don't leave out the good part."
He said, "Don't you go leave out the good part of the chunky chunk of the story." Look for it. Help me if you guys see it. Can you pull it up? If you get it to it quicker than me, it's in the He Said, She Said group book. You're listening to He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com. We're an iHeart radio station, and we've been talking about a little bit of everything. So if you have something you want us to talk about, you can throw that in there too. We're going to talk about that. But we've been talking about a bunch of topics that we have, and our hot topics come from the group. So going with this one, this is another topic that came up in the group. In fact, almost all of these came up in our group this week, except for the one from 30 and up. Doing us, the topic about the bank accounts.
Might be a while before y'all find that. That was early this week, wasn't it?
I just saw it this morning.
I believe I pinned it to the top. If you can just go to the group, I think. However, I tried to pin the topics to the top that we were going to talk about today. Me and my computer, we having a hard time, but we're not getting along today. Let me tell you something about technology. It will all work fine. Have you ever had like you submit it by a certain time, and then everything breaks down, your internet doesn't work when it's time for...
You don't have security clearance to get on, log on your computer that day at work. Like, what? Got to go through all your security trainings
on deadline, and we'd be at deadline to get things in the paper, and that's when all hell would break loose, and I never could find it because right now I can't get in the group. I was saying, don't do it. You're not doing it. So we're gonna move on to that topic so I can pull it up, and we can bring that up. I know it's coming. Are you all don't see it?
I'm looking.
No.
I literally just saw it this morning.
Let me go. I'm going to read.
But I didn't respond on it.
Cheating the paramount way we discuss relationship issues. Is cheating a major issue in our relationships? Is there anything else? What are other big issues in relationship? Financial, money.
Which raise your children.
Well, I think the reason why we go to cheating because relationships are built on committing to one another. Foundation is committing to one other person. All of your other issues in a relationships are layers to the commitment that I made to be monogamous to you.
And usually you always hear, I cheated because.
Yeah.
Right. And so it gives you the ability to kind of discuss things because there's always reasons and people have different reasons. It could be lack of sex. It could be a person wasn't doing things around the house. It would be lack of communication. It could be finances. It could be whatever it was that you felt, alienated, or it was the reason why. It could just be because you're selfish. So, it is the case, I think.
I agree. I think that we talk about all the elements, I think, of relationships, from sex, from financial, money, cheating. I think it's things that's talked about the most because it seems to be one of the biggest things that is.
Yeah.
So the question of the day that came up in the group was, fellas, when you married her, she was a size 6. Now she is a 22. She doesn't want to work out and says, love me as I am or leave.
So here's the problem with that. All right. So she's a size 6. She's a 22.
Love me as I am.
Okay. The thing is this. Love does not equal. So I could love you as a person.
As you are.
As you are. That when I get horny, you're going to be the person that I want to go to. And so
he said horny.
And so and that is where
that's a funny word, isn't it?
It really is.
And that's where the problem lies. You're expecting me, like, let's just say we have a monogamous agreement as far as, our relationship is concerned. So you're expecting me to, like, all of a sudden now come to you when I want to have sex, when I don't want to have sex with you. And you think that my love for you equals my attraction to you, and it does not. Become awkward. And then that's where the real issue, and it's like, okay, do I want to sit in a sexless marriage? Because, if I'm not attracted to you, he's folding up.
He's like,
left
no.
the building.
And so then now where am I at?
But what if she possesses all of the other qualities?
I want to have sex.
Right. What
Okay.
other
I mean,
qualities?
it's like,
She's nurturing.
so let's just say she's
6.
35. Let's say we're 35 at the time, right? So for the next, whatever we together, I don't have sex.
And I'm supposed to get off. I'm supposed to go off of just being caring and nurturing.
I'm just masturbating now.
She really want to give it to you.
But I don't want it. But I don't want it from her.
She giving
I'm
too
not
much
attracted
now.
to her.
She giving too much.
And so, and that's where it comes. That's where it becomes awkward because I'm not attracted to her. So now she's a nice person. The reality is that this is unfortunate, but it's true. I could find a woman qualities and I want to have sex with. And that's what's gonna happen. So you leave.
And then you telling me you're not losing the weight. You don't want to lose the weight. Love me as I am.
Yeah, that's just.
You got some damn nerve.
But see, so should you go into a relationship that person is going to change?
You make it sound
physically,
so small.
we're all going. I mean, we are.
I don't know women's sizes because of the numbers, but I'm sure a size 6 to a 22 is not a 10 to 15 pound gain. So how many pounds did she add?
100.
That's not a change.
That's not
what I'm saying.
That is letting it all go.
Right.
I mean, no. I mean,
so what if
seriously.
she bore your children though? Like,
So
what if
look,
she?
okay, this is what I say. If there is a all right. But I'll say this. You're going to be a size 22, right? And you are going to expect for somebody to stay with you and you look totally different and you know that they're not attracted to her. Then we need to open up the marriage. We need to open up the marriage.
I think I'm with you.
It's just not. It's not fair.
It's not fair
because you decide that you don't want to change. I have to have sex like a chore. I'm sorry. You need to open up the marriage. If you want me to love you, okay, I'll love you. We can still be married, but guess what?
Losing weight is not like a simple thing, though.
Gaining it ain't that. I mean,
gaining
is a process.
Well,
You're not
it's
just going
a process, but
and like.
Naturally, when you were 22, isn't that
that's
like
different?
So what do you do about the lady who bore your children?
What do I do about it?
Yeah, why y'all always use kids as an excuse to be fat?
Because, it's not an excuse to be fat, but your body changes. Okay. I know women who were a size 6 not get past being a size 14 or so after having their kids, no matter what they've done. The weight isn't coming up outside of surgery.
But, and that's fair. But I'll
does
tell
that
you
sound
this.
medical?
I've seen that too. I actually know somebody who's going through something like that. But the thing is this: is that when you look at them, they're still. You can tell they're doing something, whether it be working out, whether it be eating, or whatever.
I think I agree.
And then, like, even from a 6
So
to
does
14,
he respond if he knows like she is at the gym?
She
even though she's
cares.
still a
She
size
cares.
And
20,
trying.
even though she's still a size 20, okay with that.
Right.
It's different when
Or do you
say
give a
like
time
this,
limit?
I'm not trying.
Or do you
There's
you
no
got
time
about
limit.
a
She
year
said
or
she
so?
ain't doing nothing. She said,
It's
"Love
a
me as I'm not
process.
doing nothing."
It's a process.
Okay.
I
And
mean,
can you really affect your attraction? Even if you're doing the process, if I'm not attracted anymore, that's hard because I'm just really not attracted to you that way.
and you just can't. The thing is that you cannot do anything about not being attracted. Things you attract to, it's like no matter what. If a girl likes, a guy that's 6'5", dark skinned or whatever, and a little light skinned dude that's 5'4" come up, it is nothing he can do.
He can't be dark.
Right.
And so if a guy likes, some a certain size, it's not, and it's smaller than, a 22, it's nothing the 22 size woman gonna be able to do.
I like to
Stand for
say,
the moment.
if you buy a car and you buy the car you like, I like BMWs, and I bought a BMW, and I bought this little 2-seater BMW, and it changed to a station wagon. I liked BMWs. I don't want a station wagon.
20 years down the line, that BMW is not going to ride the exact same as it did when you purchased it because of wear and tear.
Okay, so maybe it becomes 4-door, but a station wagon?
No. I'm not saying that I'm just saying the natural physical W is going to change.
Yeah, but that's
So
dramatic change.
Size 6 to 22 is kind of
saying
not
it's
a
100
natural
pounds.
progression.
Look,
Drinking heavy
I mean,
just to have sex with her.
I don't think
Drinking to have sex with her.
Yeah.
People don't do that.
I don't
do
think
they?
I don't think a
Okay.
lot of people are the same size they were.
Positive.
Yeah, because when I was in college, I was 145 pounds. Now I'm 207 pounds.
My only thing is she's saying she's not going to do anything.
Right, she's not gonna do anything.
Love me as I am. That's
now
the part
that's problematic. Once your mate brings it to you, then
Mhm.
absolutely you have one or two options to respond to it and say, okay, let's do something,
Exactly.
or love me as I am. Then my college reunion, and it ain't just the ladies that's putting on weight. We call it the man weight. Is y'all coming with no longer 6-packs like
Women don't care like that, though. I don't.
But
think.
lies.
But if a woman came to her
They do?
man and said,
Yeah.
"Hey, when I met you, what's this man size? You was wearing a size 32 waist. Now you wearing a 52 waist." And he tell her, "Well, tough titty, you got to deal with it. Love me as I
Tough
am."
titty said the kitty, but the milk's still good.
Y'all gonna jump down that man back like, "No, he didn't, girl. Who is he? You can go find you some. You still got it. It's different." Women saying that we supposed to just sit back and say, "Oh, she going through it hard. She had a kid 19 years ago. She never shook that weight. 19 years later, 100. You know what I'm saying?"
The reason you ain't shake that way is because you wasn't shaking.
Yeah.
You should have looked at her ankles before.
Look, if you meet somebody and they're a certain size, and like through life, they gain a couple of pounds or whatever, that's just gonna happen. But like, there's still, a person can gain pound and still be attractive.
Is that a conversation you should have at the beginning? At the beginning, when you at the table discussing your finances, going through premarital
I wouldn't
stuff.
say the beginning.
And by the way, baby, size that you on right now.
I don't know.
I think so. If it's a deal breaker, I think you should.
I know people who understood.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, I know people who get that understood, and no one is trying to say, like, if you gain 15, 20, 30 pounds or something like that, all of a sudden it's a problem. I wouldn't want to put that type of stress on anybody. But I just think that you should at least be, a shadow of yourself. If when you go from a size 6 to a size 22, what, Halle Berry to Empire.
With that nail Carter, is nail Carter considered a
Pressure.
22?
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't know.
wouldn't Precious probably be like a 22 or something
Yeah.
like that?
What's her real name? Gabrielle Sibiday.
I'm
I'm sorry. I don't mean. I was calling your character, not that you. Well, I don't know, but then you still you. Gabrielle Sibiday.
But you can't talk about that in the beginning because you tiptoeing. You don't be very funny when it comes to their weight. What you can say is you don't like thick women. You can say something like that, but you can't say I don't want you to get fat.
Because you don't want her to get fat.
Because you're trying to hit. You're trying to smash.
I'm saying what? So you and your girl right now, like if you have a particular, you're building towards marriage. The other stuff, why not put it out there? Like, baby, I like the size that you are. Yeah, like, can you make sure?
But that's what I mean. Later on, you can say that when you see, she put on a little extra. But early on, beginning, that's not one of them. What's your favorite color? I need you to stay this size. No, you're not doing that.
I've had that conversation with people though, with a guy who says that I like women this size and I wouldn't be attracted to you if you were different.
I know two of my friends, they husbands completely clear that they need to stay around the size that they are, and both of them, and they both got it back down. I know two of my friends, two of my close friends, who husbands have made that completely clear. I was, at an event or whatever with one of them. It was joked about, but you could tell he was real serious.
I think it's a good question, a good topic to discuss. Because then, as you're eating that cheeseburger, maybe you'll put it down, or maybe you'll run, or I don't know.
Because and maybe the thing about it was, and both of the guys, a lot. They work out, 3-4 times a week or whatever. And I remember one of my friends telling me, like, he'd be like, hey, let's get up, let's go to the gym, talking about because, she had gained a little, some pounds or whatever. He's like, hey, look, let's go. And but they do it as a couple. It's something that's understood. But then again, her mama told her, look, because her mama.
My mother did the same thing.
Mama, look at his face.
No, I'm not. I mean,
he like her mama. Her mama though.
She better risk it all.
Mama, and so she was like, "You see how I look? That's what you're gonna have to do that." But her mama is like real old school, and she was like, "Look, men don't have that concern, but you, as a woman, you got that concern. You make sure you."
My mother had that conversation with me. I don't know if mothers do that, but my mother definitely told me when we had the talk of things. She was giving me tips when I was getting married. That was one of them. Is maintaining where I was and being mindful of that. Or I don't want to use stay married because I get bombarded by women who hate when I use that term, so I won't say it like that. But that's how my mother meant it. It really was at the time. She meant that weird kind of. I thought they were weird at the time and didn't live up to them. But now I understand them at this age, at 20-something. I was like, "Mom, you crazy? That's how nobody think like that." Because my mother was a fix the plate forum type woman, the very old school Mississippi Southern woman. Fix the plate, look nice when he comes home from work. He doesn't always want to come home to you looking mindful of with your the hair rag. Don't stay looking nice. So when he comes home, you look nice. Be mindful of your size, of how you are at this size. And I do believe she was taking into account for baby weight, but at the same time, looking a certain way for him. And so that came up.
So wait, women have to be told to be considerate?
Hey, what's being considerate?
Making his plate, keeping yourself presentable.
If men want that plate made if I'm a child. I mean, if I'm a teenager.
I'm really wondering. I mean, so if your mother.
I'm side-eyed. I'm giving him the side eye.
Women period. If the mothers didn't tell them.
That's where you learn it from, though.
That's where. Why would I know to make a man a plate?
Y'all just keep going in the kitchen, getting your own food, and come sit back down, like
yeah.
I think
women teach women how to be
know how to open a door for a woman. Where does that come from? Open doors for women, and somebody had to tell them.
Yes, so. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I've ever actually been taught that. by anybody specific. It's just kind of something I picked up because my mother, she's never really actually taught us that, because like I have to, like mom move.
Yeah,
do
she grab her door. Yeah. My mother didn't.
Learned it somewhere. So however you picked it up, it was somebody.
I learned
had to
it from
teach
seeing my mom doing it for my dad.
I
Makes
thought
his
y'all was gonna
plate.
say something.
Even to this day, she makes his plate. When she's pissed off at him, her way of getting back at him is she won't cook dinner. I'm like, I can show you way better, pettier ways to get back at him. So that's her thing, like dinner, and then he ends up saying, which one from the restaurant. So I mean, it's still resolved.
I mean, even the whole keeping when he comes home, like you got to be told that too.
Now, I don't think you have to be told that.
I'm just wondering, because
But
it's like, would you want to come home now and take a shower, on in the same?
Don't you know many women who don't do it? Where do you think they don't do it? I do know a lot of women who think nothing of that and wouldn't think.
Because you gotta love them for how they are.
Love me for who I am.
That's nasty.
I don't know that. I think that's
you come
just
to my house
maybe
and I'm just
a southern way of preparing. My mother was a teacher how to sew. My mother had all the things women cook. I got to learn how to sew. I had to learn how to. My mother had the whole list of everything.
I get those, but I got to tell you to comb your hair.
You see women around with hair rags.
Ask any married man how many of their women looking nice when they get home. I bet you that is a common thing that men may complain about. People do let themselves go, because I'm married. I got married, so now
And see, this is why men are afraid of marriage.
I got me.
She's not.
You let yourself go or got comfortable.
So if his mother had told her not to, would she have done that?
She should have told, don't get comfortable.
I think
it's the same thing as just saying it in a different way. My mother didn't know the terminology. Don't get comfortable. I mean, my mom, this is talked in the Oprah way. She talked in the old school way of not. So I think it's the same thing.
I got into it before with women. They was telling me their mama had to tell them to, keep the house clean. I'm sitting there like, come on, y'all got to stop this. Your mama had to tell you to keep the house clean.
Yes, because as a kid, I didn't want to keep my room clean. I don't think like that.
But
I think the difference though is keeping the house clean for a man and being taught to keep your house clean. My mom taught me to keep my bedroom clean.
My bedroom, not because the whole house.
Well, not because a man is going to come in my bedroom, but because it was just cleanliness, hygiene, teaching. Turn when I got my own place, I keep my house clean. A man is going to come to my house. It's just because I want my house to be clean and comfortable.
I'm just wondering, because I've always felt that. I'm gonna say single parent, because my mother was a single parent. Single, no doing nothing for the other side. But I always said I felt my mother and a lot of guys in my generation were brought up to be bachelors. Do it on purpose, but I think they brought us up to be bachelors.
Self-sufficient.
And in the way of being a good man, but it was kind of like we learned how to cook, clean, wash our own clothes, and they never really instilled in us how to know what a wife's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
So why is it then how come you don't understand a mother teaching her daughter how to be a wife?
Because I never heard it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna sound silly, but I just thought y'all, that you're supposed to, keep yourself presentable. Because y'all put so much work and time and effort into, like drawing your eyebrows. So it's like, I just thought that's what y'all knew to keep yourself up. Like, you don't want to see you with one eyebrow, So that was a little shocking right there. I'm not gonna lie. And I had like my cousin, who's like my sister. That was my only time that I was around the most. So I wasn't in the house hearing those stories. I didn't get to see it. You just kind of. And they never show you, show the mothers having this talk with the girls saying, you got to do this for the man, that for the man,
I'm not sure all girls get that. I'm not I'm only talking from my experience. I'm not sure other women get
Well,
that.
I think what happens a lot too is ladies that are raising daughters, and ain't no man gonna want you, and you can't keep your room clean, and you walking around here musty, or you doing blah blah blah. It always goes to enticing a partner rather than, because that's the clean thing to do. Nobody wants to be around somebody who stinks, no matter dating later on down the line.
That's what I'm kind of getting to. Like, somebody got to tell you to put deodorant on, because I got to say, make sure you wear deodorant because your husband don't want to smell your funky arms. It's like,
say that to their
But
kids.
my mother, being from the South, it was actually thought of that way. That the next
goal was marriage.
goal was to be ready for marriage, not to be ready to be a woman in the world, and that was exactly how she was thinking of it. That they were raising me. My brother was different. He an excellent person and be all. But for me as a woman, I mean, explore him, have him ready for the world, and for me it was different. My parents were very traditionally gender roles. They were just very gender role people. My brother took out the garbage, I cleaned the house. My brother never touched a dish, never had to come in the kitchen. The garbage, he cut the lawn, I stayed in the kitchen. My parents were so gender role like that it
Thanksgiving Day, my dad says to me after I cook Thanksgiving full dinner for, I think I've been doing it for about 3 or 4 years. He says, I'm really surprised that you can cook. What the heck is that supposed to mean? He was like, I mean, you're one of those progressive, independent women, and so I just thought it would be your thing, and I was like, geez. But that's kind of the old school thought that you either gonna work and be independent or you're not gonna cook.
When you started that story, I was like, she lying.
About cooking?
About cooking,
yeah.
For the 4th time, like, yeah, you lying.
Yeah.
You just snap some peas.
Nope, I cook entire Thanksgiving dinner. My entire family comes over.
Yeah, I would have lost money on that bet.
From scratch.
To cook, and I hate it.
Though.
The only thing I did not make was the turkey. My friend fried the turkey, but I buttered him up, injected him, took him over to be fried. Macaroni and cheese, which was amazing. I admit I'm not a good macaroni and cheese maker, but I finally found a recipe. It worked. Baked sweet potatoes.
You don't give off that vibe that you cook.
Good. I actually do pretty good.
Do I give off the vibe that I cook?
No.
Yeah, I cook. I don't cook every day though, so you would betting on me to be like, oh, I already know that I'm gonna have to work out a deal 2 to 3 meals out of the week, days. But I could put together a couple dishes.
Is that a deal breaker for women?
Let me go back to Angie Davis. Mother extensively made cooking part of my life and baking. My mother believes in women you're a woman and you need to learn. I told you she prepare you for marriage, so you need to learn how to cook. I'm up, and my mother cooked homemade meals every single day of my life. I had McDonald's once for a free Big Mac. My mother cooked from scratch everything. So did I learn how to cook? Yes. But did that extensive training make me not enjoy it? Yes. I don't enjoy cooking. Grocery shopping was a huge thing. We went to every grocery store with a list every Saturday. So she taught me all the rules of grocery shopping.
You up at the grocery store, your brother laying down watching cartoons.
Exactly.
I met somebody, and we were, at a party or whatever. It was her and her husband, and she said that she cooks breakfast every morning. She said she cooks breakfast.
I can't. I'm no good at breakfast.
Every morning, and she works. She's not a housewife. She works or whatever. I was like, you are like a superhero to me.
I do cook breakfast. Because I date people who want me to cook, so I cook.
Cecil said, is it a deal breaker if a guy says that he wants a woman that can cook 7 days a week?
It is a deal breaker.
I can't be his woman.
I'm out.
Nope, can't be his woman.
Can't do it. I can't cook.
It's not enough hours in the day. I can cook today and you can eat leftovers tomorrow.
of hours. Can't do it.
Yeah, that's
It's not in my
really,
personality.
I really care about. I mean, no.
Can you
I
have
can
leftovers?
I can appreciate anybody who cook. I wouldn't be mad if somebody was like, they not cooking. They cook like 2 or 3, I'm good. I can't cook, so I can't be looking at somebody like, yo, what's your problem?
And I mean in a situation where he's the breadwinner, not you work a full time, he work a full time.
I don't have to work. I'm
No,
not.
I don't have to work. I'll be the cook.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're saying she don't have to
Well,
work?
you don't have to
I don't
work.
wanna be
I will
I'm
be
bringing
the
you
maid
snacks.
and
I'm
the
bringing you
cook.
homemade snacks.
No, I'm
Your
not-
lunch will be made in
Well,
a
yeah, she ain't working,
lunchbox.
she better be.
I'm doing everything
I'm doing all of that.
at the same
If I
time.
get to be a
possibly,
stay-at-home,
like-
yes. Yes.
Yeah, you gotta bring.
Your meals are prepared.
I'm
Lunch on
growing
the table,
the food in the
little
backyard,
brown-
like-
brown
She's like, I'm gonna have a garden.
Garden. fresh vegetables.
Green beans over here, bell peppers, greens.
I don't have to work.
kale,
That
like,
will be my job. Take
Like,
care of you.
It's gonna be organic too. Up in this
Got a few chickens in the back.
You've
Fresh
been listening.
eggs.
He said, she said on IntellectualRadio.com. Guys, thank you so much for the show. Steve, tell them how they can reach you.
Podcast. Check us out on iTunes, iHeartRadio, AORadioShot.com, at Steezo Radio, and just follow us on all social media sites at Steezo Radio, one word.
Hey. Nemia.
Nemia on Facebook and
Crooklyn
_. Girl. Thank you. On Instagram.
Okara Hollis on Facebook. Okara H at all the other ones, Twitter.
Hurry up.
Instagram. Yeah, there you go.
You are hilarious. And I'm Wanda B. You can become friends on Facebook. Join He Said, She Said on
See you on
Facebook.
Wednesday.
You can also like Intellectual Radio's pages. We love that too. And if you like to advertise what He Said, She Said, get to me also. You can do that. You've been listening to He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com. I'd love to see you next week at the same time, same place. Here on IntellectualRadio.com, 2 o'clock. See you next week.
Close your eyes for your surprise tonight. Candlelight, romantic highs tonight. What's inside, I will find tonight. We run and forget the fight.